Hey. This is HQ in the house for another form of the wife code with HQ. Um, this subject was interesting and I wanted to bring it up and, say some things about it. Being betrayed in a relationship or a marriage, you know. And, the obvious forms of betrayal is usually cheating, infidelity. When one person, partner cheats on another partner, either emotionally, physically, or both of those things. And when the trust is really broken, even a small betrayal, can be a huge blow to a relationship. So, though that was the obvious betrayal in a relationship, cheating, because, not every person cheats, but there are people who cheat. So, that's an obvious form of betrayal in your relationship, in your marriage, right? But I wanted to cover and, talk about some of the not so obvious betrayals that people commit in relationships. And sometimes they don't even know it's almost as worse as getting cheated on, right? Now, they can take different forms, and I'm going to, tell you the different forms and then tell you how they show up in relationships. These acts of betrayal. The first act of betrayal, I mean, it may be one of the most heart-wrenching ones that people do. It's the emotional betrayal that people uh, do in relationships. When you form a different sort of connection with another person, and that connection is supposed to be reserved for your marriage, for your relationships, and you form an emotional bond with another person. You confide in that person, you confide in another person, tell the other person secrets and things that belong in your relationship that you shouldn't be telling another person. This is an emotional betrayal. And when you prioritize somebody else's needs, emotional needs above your spouse's, that that's damaging to a relationship, damaging. Okay. And when you do that, I mean, an example of that is, when it's, uh, when you start telling another person stuff that go on in your marriage instead of telling your marital partner, your relationship partner, you know, private texting, jokes, feelings that you might have for your spouse, or feelings you might have about other things that you don't tell your spouse. These are things that you should share at home, things that should stay in the home. And you, it may be like another, you may feel excitement or some kind of joy at telling someone other things that you should be keeping in your relationship. And then a lot of people say it's not a big deal. This is not a big deal. Me talking to another person about my relationship, me talking to somebody um about things that go on in my marriage, it's not a big deal. This is an emotional betrayal when you confide in other people instead of keeping it in the home. And this is a huge betrayal in your relationship, a huge betrayal in your marriage. Okay. And a lot of people don't get that. Just because you don't physically cheat doesn't mean you're not cheating to your spouse. That's an emotional betrayal. Another one is loyalty. Men always say, well, I want her to be loyal. I want her to do this, that, and the third. I want to make sure that you're loyal. This is a loyalty betrayal. When you fail to stand up for your partner, when they're being disrespected, When you speak badly about your partner behind their backs, to the family, to the friends, and when your partner, when your wife or your husband is being hurt by somebody, you try to stay out of it. I'm gonna stay out of it. I ain't gonna do nothing. Instead of bonding with your partner, you try to be neutral. I ain't gonna say nothing. If she getting disrespected, I ain't gonna say nothing. That's a loyalty betrayal. Not correcting other people when they disrespect your partner. I don't want, like your mother. Your mother disrespects your husband, or your father disrespects your wife. Oh, you know your bitch ain't shit, or you know what the form is. That's when you betray your loyalty is betrayed. Making jokes at your spouse's expense, letting other people talk about your spouse, saying things like, yeah, she kind of goofy, yeah, she kind of much, or yeah, he doing the most. That's a loyalty betrayal. Just so you can get along with the guys. Yeah, women ain't shit. And you married to a woman just to get along with the other men. You downplay your woman. You downplay a woman when you know it's not true, just to get along with the other guys. You're betraying the loyalty of your spouse, your wife, your husband when you do those kind of things. This is almost a bigger betrayal than cheating. The emotional betrayal is worse than cheating, but this is a good one as well. When your trust has been betrayed, when you break promises and you don't fail to live up to things that you say you're going to do, hiding the important things because they might upset her. I'm the man, so I ain't gonna tell her nothing. I'm just gonna take care of it. That's a betrayal. That's a trust betrayal. Lying about money, lying about plans, lying about personal feelings, lying about things you didn't do, said, didn't say. These are all trust betrayals. Telling little white lies to keep the peace about how you spent the money, how you spent the night, what you doing, what you really feel. When men say, I keep things from her because, I'm the man and I got to keep them. That's betraying your wife. That's betraying your spouse when you don't let them know, or you don't let them in on secrets and things they need to know. Well, I'm not going to tell her because she goofy. I'm not going to tell her because I'm the man and I got to keep it to myself. I'll tell him later. And later never comes. These are trust betrayals. These are things that undermine marriages, undermine relationships. Ambition betrayal. Dismiss. This is one of the top ones. When you dismiss the importance of her career, or you dismiss the importance of her dreams, her wants, her needs, not supporting his growth, her growth, because it threatens your masculinity or it threatens your ego, making her feel small because she wants to be ambitious, making her feel less than because she wants to build a career, making him feel less than because he doesn't. Making them feel guilty because they want more out of life. They want more of a house. They want more of a car. They want more of a cushion. They want more of a life. They want more money. Making them feel guilty because of these things. That's an ambition betrayal. And I've seen a lot of that on the internet. Oh, she need to live within my means. She can't be ambitious like that. You can't be living beyond your means. That's an ambition betrayal. Okay. Not listening when I tell you this is important to me. This is how it shows up. You're too busy to understand what I want. You're too busy to listen to my plans for the future or goals for the future. Dismissing my intelligence. Dismissing what I say is important to me. I have important things outside of being married. I have important things outside of being a mother. I have important things outside of being a father. Just like men have important things outside of being a father and a husband, so do women. And when you dismiss that, you're betraying me. You're betraying my ambition, my goals, my wants in a relationship. Attention betrayal. When you give more attention to your job, your friends, your hobbies, you treat me like I'm a side piece. You treat me like I'm not important in your life. I don't have an active role. I'm not an active participant on the stage of your life. You treat me like I'm just background noise, like I'm white noise in your life. This is how marriages, this one particular betrayal is how marriages really go to the graveyard and die, is the attention betrayal. This is how it goes. Half listening to what I have to say, not paying attention to me. When I say something is important, you don't know it's important. I'll ask you 3 days later and you say, what? I don't know what she said. Women be talking all the time. I don't never listen to them. They just be too busy. They just be doing stuff. This is how marriages go to die. Because you're not paying attention. And men say women are emotional creatures and they need all of this and that. Then if you know, for men to know so many goddamn things. I know this about a woman. I know that about woman. I know this about a woman. If you know a woman is an emotional creature, then why don't you have the tools to work with this emotional creature? Why does this emotional creature set you off in a different direction that you don't seem to comprehend how to deal with her? If you already know she's an emotional creature, then you need to pick up the tools to handle this emotional creature, not try to put her in your world and then make her adjust to your world. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. And then men say, well, she left for no reason. She left me for no reason. No, it's not. No, one of these betrayals is the reason why she left. One of these. Boundary betrayals. You tell your business. Women, you tell your girlfriends your business. You tell your mama your business. Okay? Those are boundaries that you betray. Telling family and friends all your business. That's an emotional betrayal. Or boundary betrayal, I'm sorry. Boundary betrayal. You got to know when to be quiet and when not to be quiet. That's how that shows up in a boundary betrayal. And women do it fairly often enough. 9 times out of 10, most women will keep counsel of her best friend. But sometimes she doesn't. Safety betrayal. Making your partner feel safe. The betrayal is making your partner feel unsafe emotionally. They tell you they're afraid, you laugh. They tell you this is how they respond. You say, you gaslighting. I tell you this is how women feel, and you tell me I'm gaslighting. Passive aggressive behavior that you exhibit. telling me that I'm an emotional creature and you're the logical one.
Unknown caller.
That's betraying a person's safety. That means you don't take me seriously. Weaponizing my fears, my emotions, my insecurities because you don't have them. My feelings are valid regardless of whether they fucked up or not. They're still valid because I feel them, just like yours are valid when you feel them. Don't dismiss a woman because she's an emotional creature. I say this all the time. We're emotional creatures. That means you need to navigate emotional creatures. You need to figure out how creatures are emotional. Men always say they simple. Feed me, fuck me, and do whatever. Okay, we got that. So where's your effort? Where's the man's effort to understand the emotional creature? Safety betrayal is when you joke about how I feel or you don't take me seriously. You dismiss me at my emotions. I'm overacting. She's a woman. They're emotional. You know they don't know what they want. Don't you hear that all the time? They don't know what they want. Yes, we do. We know we don't want you. We know we don't want that. We know we don't want what you're doing. Okay. Y'all hit the like button coming in. Hit the like button coming in, please. Okay. That's safety betrayal. Okay. That's safety betrayal. Physical betrayal or presence betrayal. That's when you're here, but you're really not here. You're here, but you don't care. You're emotionally checked out. You listen to what I say, but you don't interact with what I say. You listen, but you don't understand what I'm saying. Making me feel little in your presence. Excuse me. You're physically here, but you're not there. You say, yes, I'm fine. Don't do it. Whatever. These are things that people refer to when they say you have presence betrayal. You emotionally check out of the relationship. Okay. Value. When my value has been betrayed. Undermining my core values. Disrespecting what's important to me. Not understanding that my religion is important to me. Pretending to share my beliefs just so we can get along, keep the peace, but actually resenting what I am and resenting what I do. And a lot of people do that. Value betrayal. I want to stay celibate until X, Y, and Z, but you don't want. So you keep undermining me. You keep trying to get me to do it, pretending to like the things that I like so things can go your way later on. Avoiding deep conversation so you won't have an argument. That's a betrayal in a relationship. And I know I get it. People say, well, I want to keep the peace. I just want to be, I don't want to fight. How can you be in a relationship or be in a relationship where communication is key to keeping a relationship together, but you don't want to talk about nothing deep or interesting? You don't want to talk about my values, what I find important. These are all acts of betrayal in a relationship, and people do it. People cheat. That's the ultimate betrayal. But people leave 9 times out of 10 because of these other things. People leave because of these things. And people say, I don't know why she left me. She just left me out of the blue. Women don't leave for no reason. She leaves for some of these reasons right here. Energy betrayal. You're only putting effort into the relationship because I told you I was leaving. You're only putting effort into a relationship because I'm showing you that I'm not concerning myself about the relationship anymore. Expecting me, the wife, to carry the burden, the emotional burden of the relationship, but you're not doing nothing. Okay. Taking patience and forgiveness for granted. You betrayed me in some way and you expect me just to be whatever? You only take me seriously after we done had a fight. When you allow your partner to do everything, they gotta plan, organize, cook, clean, do all emotionally manage everything, emotionally manage the kids, do everything. When you allow your partner to do all of that, that basically means you're checking out. You're abdicating your role in the relationship. And maybe this is one of the most important ones that make a woman leave: the energy betrayal. You assume I'm always going to be you. Let's be clear, and I don't want to be fucked up about it, but I'm going to be fucked up about it. Just because I'm a mother and a wife doesn't mean I like it every day of the week. Doesn't mean I like it every day of the week. Doesn't mean I want to do it every day of the week. Sometimes I need a break too. Sometimes a man needs a break. Sometimes everybody needs a break. And there's nothing wrong with you wanting to have a break. Don't let nobody make you feel guilty because you need a break sometimes. It is what it is. I just need to go where? I just need to go. My escape, when I needed to escape kids and husband and all that, I went to the bookstore. Barnes and Noble's bookstore. Remember Barnes and Noble's bookstore used to have benches and couches and all kinds of stuff in that place. I used to go there and just sit for hours, read a book, talk to myself, do all of those things. Sexual escape is a form of betrayal too if you don't know it. Don't let people think. This is another thing I meant to say. I don't care what and how you say. If a person cheats, man or woman, leave. Uproot everything and leave. Because you don't need to stay there. There's plenty of people on the planet that are willing to be faithful, that have a point, that have it in them to be faithful. Okay? Because there's no point in staying. There's no point in staying. Hey, Tierney, hello. Now, if you want to come on the panel, you can. I mean, anybody want to come on the panel, they can. You know, I was just giving you a list of the betrayals I know people run into. I mean, these kind of betrayals don't announce themselves with big bangs and whatnot. They don't. This is subtle stuff. They creep into your everyday lives and the choices. And every once in a while, somebody may do one or two of these things. Not all of them all at the same time, but these things add up. And then one day you wake up and you don't feel like you should be married to this person. Or one day you wake up and you feel like this person has betrayed you and you don't even know how. Okay. Maybe some early warning signs. I don't know what those early warning signs would, but I know another sexual partner is typically already in play. These betrayals don't announce themselves immediately. I do know that. Okay. Early warning signs for somebody that there's betrayal in the midst. They stop sharing a lot of things. Instead of texting you randomly saying I miss you, telling you funny things during the day, they don't call you anymore. They don't talk to you anymore. Conversations are more about the kids, more about what we got to do, what we got to pay, when, how, what. And then they become careful when they talk to you, like you walking on eggshells. Stuff that used to be funny ain't funny no more, not like it used to be. The body language, the talk, everything is off. Okay? They don't bring up topics in which they got to tell you how they feel. They avoid those topics. They don't want to start fights, so they stop talking to you, stop telling you things that used to annoy them. They've been telling you months ago. They told you months ago, please help me around the house. Women tell you they want help around the house. Can you wash a load of clothes every week? Can you pick up the kids on Tuesday and Thursday instead of me? All of these things, they've been telling you these things. Hey, wife, you need to lose weight. You got 30 extra pounds on you. Please lose the weight. They've been telling you for months that they want you to do that, and you don't do it. Okay? Even if they ask, you brush it off like it ain't important. They snap over little things. They say little things, microaggressive stuff that you be like, what the hell? Why the hell they go off like that? Small irritations irritate them even more. Okay? Resentment leaks out all over the place. I told her to lose weight 6 months ago. She ain't lost no weight. They might pull back from having sex from you, pull back from kissing you, touching you. Okay? They might get stiff around you when you touch them. They hesitate before telling you stuff, trusting you. Pause before you answer questions. They answer questions. Okay? They find a safe space. They find a man cave. They find all of these little things to get away from you. They build fences, barriers, boundaries against you. The criticism becomes more relevant, more prevalent, more often. Okay? Things that used to sound like a joke are not a joke anymore. They may smile, but it's not really reaching their eyes. None of these things are specific things that say we're going to betray you. But put together, that means it's coming. And we're not talking about sex because a lot of people don't often, only 20-some% of people cheat. So that leaves the rest of us that don't cheat. The rest of us have these other betrayals that happen. Okay? But all of this is under the surface. These things are under the surface. Okay? Okay. How do you help a betrayal if it's coming? How do you help when a betrayal is coming? Okay? We want to be healthy. We want to be whole. Yeah, I'm saying once you stop being on the same page, yeah, it's difficult to get it back. Okay? When you get when you can help this, you can sort of help some of this. Let's see how we can repair this. When you get hurt, say you get hurt. That really upset me. I felt hurt by that. I really want to tell you how I feel. Don't be angry. When somebody has apathy, when they say whatever, I don't give a fuck, blah, 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 that's more dangerous than somebody who done had sex with somebody else. You want a person to be able to vent to you, to tell you what's wrong. Even if it's messy, even if it's unproductive, you still need to talk. Okay? Ask the person how their day goes. Share what you don't think they need. Even if you don't think they need to know, please share your life with this human being. If you're not in the same room, you're not in the same house, say good night. Good morning. Inquire about their day. What are they up to today? What's your schedule look like? Even somebody saying that. What does your schedule look like? shows that you at least concern yourself or care about that person. Okay. When you're willing to talk about the problem instead of blaming me for the problem. Don't blame me for the problem. See, that's a part of the accountability piece that we have a problem on this internet here. When I see women, when I hear women say men need to do this, there's an accountability problem. And when I hear men say women need to do this, otherwise the relationship thing will get better. No, you have accountability that you need to take as a man. There's things you need to do before you look at a woman and say she needs to change. There's things you as a man need to do before you look at a woman and say she needs to change. Please hit the like button, guys. These are fucking gems, and I'm doing this shit right off the top of my head. There's an accountability piece that everybody needs to take. Be accountable for you. Okay? Be willing to name what the problem is. Don't blame nobody. I want to know what the problem is. On this day, not this day. I was thinking on the ladies panel. I want women to tell men exactly what they want. I want you to stand on exactly what you want. I don't want to hear what men think you want, because I hear men all the time tell us women what we want. I don't want to hear, and I don't want to hear from women telling me, well, I think the men want us to do that. No, I don't want to hear that. I want to hear what the women want. And I'm going to give you an example right now. This is the accountability piece. I'll give you an example right now. I want you, if I'm in a relationship with a man, this is what I would say. I want you to be present every day. And what I mean by present, I mean be actively engaged in our relationship. Don't tell me whatever. Don't tell me I'm doing this. Don't tell me I'm doing that. When you walk in the door, you need to engage me. During the day, we engage each other. How is your day going? What are you doing? What would you like for dinner? How are the kids doing? Have the kids did this? Are the kids okay? Did the kids do this? Did they finish their homework? Have they done this? I need you to be actively engaged in a relationship. Not I go to work and that's all you do. This is what I'm saying. This is what needs to be said. This is what needs to be done in a relationship, in a partnership. If you want that relationship to work, you need to be actively engaged. Okay? If you're not actively engaged in a relationship, all of these betrayals can occur. Emotionally betrayal is one of the biggest ones. When you start telling other people what's going on in your relationship with your husband, people start breaking promises, even the small ones. These are betrayals. Dismissing how important it is for me to go back and get my degree. Honey, I want to go back. When I told Philo, my husband's name was Philo. When I told Philo, I said, "Hey, Philo, I want to go back to school. I want to go get a degree. I want to do that. I want to go back and then be able to, make more money and blah blah blah. I want to do all of that." The only thing he said to me is, "Don't worry about the kids. Do what you gotta do. Don't worry about the kids. I got the kids." This is what that man said to me. He didn't ask me nothing else. I didn't ask for his yes, no, maybe so. That's the only thing he said to me. Don't worry about the kids. I got the kids. Do what you gotta do. This is an emotion. This is supporting your partner. Sometimes you have to talk that out with your partner. Sometimes do we got enough money to do it? Are we gonna, shortchange the children? He didn't ask me that. He said, I got the kids. I got them. This is ambition betrayal. When you dismiss what this person is hoping to do, wants to do. Okay? When you have more energy for your family and friend, your other family and your friends and your coworkers and your hobbies, you have more energy for them than you do for me. You treat me like I am white noise in the back of your head. You don't have no thought for me at all. Okay? Ignoring my emotional self. And I always say this question. I always ask this question. If women are such emotional creatures, why haven't you men learned to navigate these emotional creatures? This is why men have a hard time with women, because you don't want to engage emotionally with that woman. This is how you keep your woman. This is how you keep her involved with you. You have to get involved with her just like she gets involved with you. I don't know where it came from that we're supposed to get on your program. We both have a program. I have a program too. I am ambitious and I have a program too. I want to have a relationship with you. I want to do the things that it takes to have a relationship. But I'm not the only one that is supporting the relationship. I'm not the only one that has to support that relationship. You have to show up as a human being. You have to show up. I'm telling you before I marry you that I need you to be emotionally present. Okay? That goes for women. Ladies, you have to show up for that man as well. You have to show up for him as well. He has emotional needs too. Although he likes to hide them and don't want to share them with you, he still has them. You still have to do what you have to do emotionally as well. Okay? And that means when that man feels like crying, that means you support him in whatever effort he feels. You don't betray that. Oh, he weak because he cried. That's not how that goes. You want a relationship to be solid. You want a relationship to stay solid. You need to respect the man and respect the feelings that he says that he has or doesn't have. Okay. Being there physically, but not emotionally. This is a presence betrayal. When you're there physically, but you're not there emotionally. This is one of the key ones in which a woman says, he wasn't there for me. I felt like he was, but he wasn't there for me. Okay? And I get that. I'm the first one to say, you better be there emotionally for the husband. You better be there emotionally for the wife. Okay? Okay? Yes. When people get into relationships, Black manosphere, when they get in relationships, they should naturally understand these things. But apparently people don't naturally understand that these are things that they need to do, that they need to avoid in order for their relationship to work. Okay? These are betrayals that people do. You don't have to physically cheat. Have you heard of people getting in a relationship and they break up? And then the man is like, I didn't cheat. I didn't hit. I didn't beat her. I didn't do none of these things. Why's she leaving me? One of these 10 things right here. One of these 10 things right here. One of these 10 things he did, and he doesn't know that he did it. So I'm saying you need to become more involved in that relationship. You need, men, it's your natural habit not to talk. It's your natural habit not to involve yourself with an emotional creature. But she's an emotional creature, and you need to involve yourself with that emotional creature. Your emotional creature. Not every woman's emotional creature, your emotional creature. Okay. So my whole point is you have to involve yourself. First, I hear everyone else typer is an expert. This is why we talk about what we need and want and show each other. Okay. No sex for months. Ooh, that's gotta be harsh. That's gotta be harsh. There's always a balance in there. There's always a balance. I'm not saying these are, and men may think, the men in the audience may think this is a man, this is a woman thing. This is not a woman thing. This is a man thing too. Women betray men emotionally, value wise. They do it all the time. They go to their girlfriend house and tell their girlfriend everything. They go to their mama house and tell their mama everything. That's a betrayal. Women do that all the time. Not all women, but a lot of women do that because they want some kind of kinship, some kind of camaraderie with somebody else. But you don't want her to have that kind of camaraderie with other people. You want to let her vent, of course, but she wouldn't be running to her friend if you were there, you were available. So I'm saying men, get involved with these emotional creatures. Learn what makes your creature tick. Learn to figure out what makes your creature feel the way they do. Okay. These betrayals show up in different ways, little jokes that ain't funny. Don't mention stuff because you're trying to keep the peace. Not correcting other people when they disrespect your woman, when they disrespect your man. That's betrayal. Minimizing my job, telling me my job ain't shit. That's ambitious betrayal. Okay? Boundary betrayal. I did it one time. I'm not going to do it again. That's a betrayal. Being here, being in the house, but not really being present, shutting me out, going into your man cave, not coming out for hours. These are all betrayals. And this is why you ask questions. I'm not saying men don't leave. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is men have been asking the question, why did she leave me? I didn't cheat on her. I didn't beat her. I didn't do all that. These are some of the reasons why. Okay. These are the reasons why. Because people are not fully engaged in these relationships the way they're supposed to be. People want to possess people and not really want a relationship. Okay. I'm saying these are betrayals. Please avoid these betrayals in relationships. You want to have a more productive relationship? Be involved. Being involved doesn't mean you get to say what's important and I don't, or vice versa. We have to both be present in these relationships. Okay. So this is a, can you survive betrayal? Okay. Yes, we can. If it is caught early enough. If the betrayal is caught early enough. If you immediately pull yourself back from it. But to continue to do it over and over again, I don't think so, because it's a tough road to come back. It's just like cheating. That's a tough road to come back from. You can survive it if you consciously become involved in a relationship and understand why. And this is why it's so important. When a person is a full functioning adult, that's why I only encourage full functioning adults to be married. Because a full functioning adult will understand when they have a problem, will understand when something is a problem, will understand when to engage and when not to engage. Okay? They will put themselves in that relationship at the beginning. All of this can be brought back from it. You can walk some of this back. But years of neglect will put a dent in the relationship just as worse as if you physically cheated. So be conscious, be present in your relationships from the beginning. Black Manosphere.
Hey, what's
Hello,
going on, HQ?
hello. First time on my panel. Welcome.
Yes,
What do you
indeed.
have to
Thank
say
you.
on this
Thank you.
subject, sir? What do you have to say on this subject of betrayal?
Okay, betrayal. So if I don't have any feelings for you, if I don't even feel I'm in a relationship with you, I'm not looking at betrayal like you looking at it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
you
that's
if you're
yeah.
yeah, if you're not the top priority,
Mhm.
you're looking at things from the top priority. I haven't made you top priority, so I can easily underplay you.
Right. But I'm looking at this. Where this you see the headline, the thumbnail is wife code, right? This is a marriage
Right.
series. So we're talking about two people that are in a relationship right now. We have made that commitment. We have made that vow, or we have decided that we're going to move forward together. So this is the direction I'm coming from. I'm not coming from a just regular ordinary side piece relationship. A
Got you.
marriage.
You're saying in a marriage setting, we've already committed, we've already signed papers legally, we bonded in the
Yes,
marriage.
right, right,
Got
right. So that's what I'm trying to put my 2 cents in on healing these relationships. Or when you get into a relationship, or you're in the beginning of the relationship, let's be conscious. Geez, I hate that word because I can't say it. Let's be conscious of what we do in these relationships, because everybody can be present in a relationship, right? You can be present in that relationship and move that relationship forward. If I say to you, hon, I would like to do this. I want your input. I want you to tell me something. Or if I'm gaining weight, I want you to say, hey, you were like 10 pounds, you know, let's do something to move that scale, back the way it's supposed to be, blah, 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 in a way that won't, in a way that won't wound your spouse. You're just giving this advice that you want. And then we don't have the resentment later on because I told her 3, 4, 5 different times, and then you commit one of these betrayals. So I'm saying consciously be available, aware in the beginning of what needs to be done in this relationship. Women, you need to care and concern yourself about what your partner may or may not say. You know when you're gaining weight. You know hyena behavior is not the behavior that is conducive to keeping a relationship together. People know these things um mentally, and yet they still do it, right? I guarantee you, if you say you fat, your relationship is not gonna last. What you say, you black man of fur?
Absolutely. And these are not even things I'm even going to mention. Unsatisfactory, unsavory, these
Mm-hmm,
things don't get bring up. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean?
mm-hmm.
You know,
And you're right. Were you the one? I can't remember. Were you the one who said, if I got to say some of these things or do some of these things, the relationship is over already?
right. I agree to that.
Right.
Definitely. Definitely.
Right.
That,
I mean,
so,
because these are we talking about fully develop. We talking about fully functioning human beings who don't scream like hyena, who don't be perverted on the internet, who don't. These are I'm talking about those women. I'm talking about women who actually want to put themselves in a position to be a wife, and when they are a wife, conduct themselves like a wife, right? So when you conducting yourself like a wife, and when you're conducting yourself like a husband, these things don't even come and occur to you to do. You know what I'm saying? Because you're conscious of the relationship. You're conscious of where stuff can come in. You went over and talked to your mom and dad. You went over and talked to mom and dad about our relationship. Don't do that. Please don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't do it, right? I'm not saying people do or don't do these things. I'm saying once you realize what you have done, do some correction. Okay.
I get that. I totally get that. I agree.
Mm-hmm. And I'm saying this is when people don't autocorrect. These are things that they do and they have not thought about what they're doing. Like I have a work husband. I tell my work husband everything. It's almost a betrayal. That's a betrayal. So I'm saying be conscious of what you do with other people. Be conscious of what you do to betray that initial relationship, because our relationship is main priority. Our relationship. We're married or we're in a long-term relationship or whatever, because some people don't like to get married. So I'm saying in a long-term relationship, I'm saying that be
Right.
conscious of the things that you do and say and be present. And I guarantee you, if you be present and you be conscious of the things that are wrong, the wrong things, just because you haven't slept with another person doesn't mean you don't betray them. Okay. There's many forms of betrayal. And this is what I wanted to express. Most people aren't even conscious of it, and they may be doing them. I'm saying stop doing it. Look at what you're doing when you're in that relationship. Look at what you're doing. Don't just drift, because a lot of us drift. A
Yeah,
lot of
be
us walk in
present.
the door. A lot of us walk in the door, and we're not even wanted in a relationship. You know how fucked up that sounds to me. You know what I
Ah,
mean?
of
That's fucked up.
course,
When I
of
walk in the
course.
door and you don't even want to touch me, you don't even want to talk to me. That's fucked up. I think that's the worst kind of relationship. What you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, where's the attraction? Where's the spark? Where's the I want to be here? Where's the I'm present in the moment? Where's the So that's what a relationship is about. So y'all got to give that to each other. So I'm thinking now there's something in between y'all, or there's something going wrong, or there's,
Mhm,
maybe
mhm,
you need
mhm.
some counsel or somebody to mediate or get in between that. If
So
y'all
what do
can't
you
have a sit
think?
down at your own kitchen table and look in each other's eyes and have a conversation.
So from a man's point of view, why would a man not want to talk to his wife?
Being vulnerable, being, seeing that he's not a man, or now,
Hmm.
he's supposed to be the leader. He's supposed to have things, and intact, and she turned to him. But now if he got to be vulnerable and give up that side of him, a man has to really be able to trust a woman for that. You know what I'm saying? So
So when he, how does he know? So here's my thing: if he's afraid from the jump, maybe she's not the one for him.
maybe she shouldn't put him in those positions. Like, everybody
What position?
knows what everybody, like, to have to be that vulnerable, or to have to, for him to have to come off of his hill. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Where
Hmm.
he's the man at, why would she want to take him off of that or bring him underneath for that? You know what I mean? Like, most men who are masculine, manly men, you know what I'm saying? It's just their way of the highway. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be
Hmm.
too much, give and take, and, but it depends on who you got. I mean, it depends on the relationship and what it's about.
So what are the signs? What is something a woman can do to let this man know that he is in a safe space? Because I believe a man needs a safe space too. When he gets near his woman, he needs a safe space. What? How can she let him know it's a safe space?
How could she let him know that it's a safe space?
Right.
That's a good question. I think she has to turn to him. She has to turn a lot of other things out of her life off and turn to him. Make him understand that, it's all about him. So he's safe here for anything of him to come out. You know what I mean? And it's not like you're gonna be telling the pastor, your mother, and your sister, the friends. You're not gonna, like, ruin a look for
Oh,
just
okay.
because be
Okay.
vulnerable.
It's about. So it's about. So is it about image? Is it about
Yeah,
what he
he's got to
looks
keep
like
an image up
outside?
before. Yeah, he's trying to keep an image up before you as well.
Okay.
So that's the whole vulnerable part of,
Okay.
I'm not trying to show her that. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Okay.
So I
So
mean,
you
it's a it's
you
a it's a
think
fine.
so you think it's a building up of this safety that you may feel, because I hate that you're saying, I hate when men say that. I hate when they say they don't feel safe and vulnerable enough to be in a relationship. They don't feel safe enough to make her, to let her in. He won't let her in because he doesn't feel safe. Don't you think that's fucked up? that you can't even be safe in the
Your marriage.
relationship that you got or your marriage?
Right. Nah, it definitely is. But I don't think everybody marries for the same things. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're
know what I'm
right.
saying? I think, I think I give you something that you need, you give me something that I need, and that's why we there.
Right. And
You know, once we
it's
want
something
make
that's
start to make each other feel uncomfortable,
right.
now we're not those two people anymore that we married. So I don't. You kind of gotta have your relationship down before you enter the marriage.
Right. Right. And one thing when I was on the dating apps, I would put, where you have the information and you put the information and tell me about yourself in the dating apps. I would just put, I need to feel safe and wanted. And then men would come back and say, "What do you mean? This is this is for you to this is for you to interpret. If I
Right.
say I need to feel safe and I need to feel wanted, that doesn't mean physically safe. What goes across your mind as a man if I say that to you?" But men
Yeah.
can't say that. Men can't say that to women. Why can't they say that to women?
That I want to be safe and I want to feel safe and wanted.
Yes. Ain't that what we all want?
But we will feel it. We'll naturally feel it. We don't have to say a lot of things like, we'll like I know the difference between a woman who's really into me, really into my feelings, really worried about me, my family. You know what I'm saying? I could tell
Mhm.
the difference between a woman that's really into me and a woman that's 25%.
So why do you all not want to show your vulnerability when it's time? If you know that that woman is a good, it's a good woman. All men, even if they know they got a good woman, do not want to show themselves to her.
I don't know what it is to show. I don't know what it is you want me to show. You want me to cry? You want me to talk about what happened to me in the summer of '96?
Well,
You want
I
me to?
mean, you know what I'm saying.
I don't know. What do you?
But I'm saying, women, how do I explain it? I mean, I want you to. How do I explain this? We emotional creatures, so don't get offended if I express it this way. We want to know that we mean something to you other than us being a whole, and we want you to express that.
Got you. And we should. We're married. We should know deeper things about each other. We should be more into each other than the average person or a person that's not in a deep relationship.
But can that be on the table? What if all women said, "Okay, if you could be vulnerable with me in that way, I would give you all the things that you needed from me, the fit, feminine, and friendly. If I knew, if you expressed to me just that, I would be those things that you want me to be."
Sounds good. Sounds like a trade-off. So
Right,
now I could be something that you need and you could be something that I need.
right,
So
right.
I mean, totally on board with that. But as far
Mhm,
as the vulnerability, as far as this, can we create that situation or circumstance where I could be vulnerable and this could
mhm,
come out,
mhm,
or I could be emotional, whatever it is that you're trying to get from me or see from me, where
mhm,
now we've created the scenario or situation or circumstance where I could just let that flow. You know what
mhm,
I mean? I don't know what that is yet. I'm just trying to say, like, I don't know if we're watching a movie. I don't know if we discussed something deep. I don't know if we went into something in my past, your past. I don't, you know what I mean? But the
mhm,
scenario of that coming about so that, you know what I'm saying, I can
mhm,
feel that. You know what I mean? And I'm safe and it's not an issue because a lot of times we tend to forget the past or try to put things out of our mind that we can't control anyway and go on with our life, but it can
mhm.
still affect us.
Right. Here's another thing. How do you feel about the be present, the being present? When I say be present, what does that sound like to you? What does that mean to a man? If a woman says to a man, "I need you to be present in this relationship," what does that show up like for men?
what it says to me, be present, is be in this relationship, like be like have your being in this, your input, your feelings, your thought process.
Mhm.
Run these things by me. Don't let me feel like I'm out here alone. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Perfect example. Perfect answer. That I'm not out here by myself.
Right.
That you empathize. So if you said to me, I want you to be present for me, what does that mean when you if you tell me that? What does a
I
man want to see? If you say in your mind, I want her to be present, what does that look like for a man? What does he want a woman to do?
hanging on his like you have a real good gauge of when he's happy, he's sad, he's low, he's you know what I'm saying, you're like kind of connected to him and you can tell his moods, you can sort of whatever he's missing, you can sort of put that in place for him. You know what I'm saying? You can see, you can recognize that it's missing, and then you want to be that and put it in place for him. So
So it says so
that
one of the
connection.
men, so one of the men in the one of the men, I think it may be a man, I'm not sure. Two Trill for Life one says sensitivity is a turnoff for most women towards men. They call it insecurity. Is that a thought or is that how men feel?
Being insecure, that the man is insecure.
I don't know I don't know what they mean by this statement. I'm asking you, what do they mean by that statement?
I don't understand who's insecure. Who explain the
Oh,
statement again?
it said the statement it was in the chat right now. You can look at it right now. It says sensitivity is a turnoff for most women towards men. They call it insecurity. Is
Oh,
that
right.
true?
Him, the man being sensitive.
Right,
Right, right,
right.
right, right. Like men don't do they not trained or like women don't like, oh, I wanna give him the sex now because he was so sensitive. We not known like that. That's why you had to kind of say, look, I'll trade you that for that. I'll trade you this for that.
Mhm, mhm,
So it's like sensitivity. It's like sensitive for what? I'm not trying to be sensitive with you. I'm trying to feel passionate, excited. You know what I'm saying?
mhm,
Not
mhm.
trying to get into a sensitive, like sensitive for what?
Well, we're not talking when women say she wants you to be sensitive, she doesn't mean crying and carrying on. No, she doesn't mean that. She means to be present. It's
Okay,
another
just
form.
sensitive to her needs,
Right.
sensitive to her wants, sensitive to
Your
well, right. If we
surroundings,
love each
your
other,
surroundings. Yeah,
right,
you
right.
understand the surroundings. You're working within the dynamic. You come home and she's on her period. She's on her period. She's not feeling too good. You understand that, so you do what soothes her and maybe get away from her. Do whatever. You're aware of the circumstances of the relationship, and you're
Right,
locked in.
right. I agree.
That's the sensitivity that women are saying they want, but not really sensitivity, just being locked in. You know what I'm saying? Being locked into the relationship. Okay, I understand that she likes this. Boom. I know she likes regular chocolate, not dark chocolate. Boom. So I won't get that. Being locked into the relationship and showing being present. This is what I'm saying. We don't want you to be. We don't want you to cry in front of us. That's not what we're saying. We want you to be locked into the relationship. Be locked in. That's all. We.
If I'm married, I definitely should be locked in.
Right, right.
You know?
I mean, and if you get into a relationship, marriage can be a beautiful thing if you have the right partner. They lock in, you lock in. She understands what you don't want to. She understands you without you talking. You understand her without talking. And then you both foster the growth within each other, but you want it to be as a couple. I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. Black Manosphere,
Yes,
sir, please show up again. Please show up again.
absolutely. I appreciate you for having me.
I
I'll be in
appreciate it.
the panels. I will be here.
Okay, I appreciate your input. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me do my closing dialogue, sir. Thank you. That's a good discussion. Sometimes men have to be locked in, sometimes women have to be locked in. We need that fit, feminine, and friendly from you, ladies. And we need you men to be locked in. Locked in, sensitive, not sensitive, but be locked in to the relationship where you say, okay, I'm going to navigate this relationship, but I know she's an emotional creature. I understand that, but we gonna make it work. We're gonna navigate this relationship together, right? Guys, you hit the like button and all that good stuff. Super sticker. Thank you, Mr. Walker, for the $5 super sticker. Thank you all. Normally we have the ladies here, but thank you, gentlemen, for showing up. Plenty of guys in the audience. Thank you. Betrayal can happen, and I'm saying these are some of the reasons why women decide that they need to leave, because we need to have the men locked in. I want you guys to get locked in. I want you guys to be locked into these relationships. Learn what this emotional creature is emotional about. Ladies, we need the fit, feminine, friendly. We need you to bring that piece up. We need you to bring it up from the rear. Since that's what men are asking for, we want to do that. Men need to be locked into the relationships. Locked in meaning you need to be sensitive to things. You need to be sensitive to the women's needs. Understand that there are different forms of betrayal. We listed we listed the betrayals: emotional betrayal, trust betrayal, family betrayal, presence betrayal, not showing up when you're supposed to, not being present, safety betrayals. There's different types of betrayals. We want everybody to be conscious of those things in the marriage, in the relationship. Safety first, ladies. Safety first, ladies. Safety first. Okay? Safety. Betrayal doesn't have to come only in the form of cheating. Betrayal comes in different faces, with different faces. And we want you to recognize those betrayals before they creep into your marriage. Okay? Having a work husband is a type of betrayal. Telling family all of your problems is like a betrayal. A man coming in the house and not engaging with the children, not engaging with the house, is a betrayal. Okay? Dismissing a woman's ambition, dismissing what she is, what makes her her, is a betrayal. So we want you to engage in all of these things, and this is the wife code. This is the wife lesson for the day. The husband lesson for the day, seeing as how it was mostly men who showed up today. This is what betrayal happens. Can we survive betrayal? Yes, we can, if everybody locks in. If everybody locks in and engages in relationships honestly, forthrightly. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. This is HQ from the Wife Code. Thank you, thank you, thank you.